Good morning, retail traders. We're going to go over this morning's watch list. This is the last trading day of the year, and 2023 was a great year to be trading. So was 2022, where I developed one of the best strategies that I've known in the past 20 years, and that's called the sneaky snake trading strategy, where we talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. 2022 gave me the opportunity to really learn how to catch knives. I've always been a good knife catcher, but 2022 was a great year for learning how to trade this strategy. Along with 2023, which brought in more chart patterns and trade the triple bottom at the first of the year, and then got into the inverse head and shoulders, and then the falling wedge were my top three patterns of the year. Trading the knives on the three black crows and moving on from there. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the watch list and kind of just a few things that I've already caught my eye on that I think are overbought. And that will start off with Mara. Mara looks to me like it's had an irrational exuberance right here. Run, and it needs to pull back. Now, there's different ways of doing this on the Fibonacci level. And I think the solid support will be the previous high that we had down here. If this thing decides to go ahead and knife, we've had too big of a run. I gotta say it, it's too big. When you see something that's irrational, and I've said it in the room, this run has been one of the biggest runs that I've seen in the 20 years that I've traded. We heard it live yesterday. Someone else mentioned it. They said even a longer period. People are hungry. The reason for this big run that we had this year is the hedge fund managers, only 15% made profit in the year of 2022. Every one of them has probably made profit in 2023. They don't want to lose their jobs. I mean, it was a bad year for hedge fund and institutional buyers in the year of 2022. They just kept buying the dip. You heard them all year long, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Then when I found the dip back in September, I wrote a song about it. I said, September will be the month to remember. And the same thing happened this year. We had that huge run that led into this notorious irrational exuberance. Now these guys are bullish as could be, and you've got to understand why. It's because they think the Fed's got it right this time, which they didn't have it right from the beginning. But they're going to lower interest rates, and that's just going to give this market a catalyst to run up to the upside. And we've already ran to the upside, so we got to consolidate. Mara, to me, has had irrational exuberance. It should pull back to the 9 and respect the 9 like it has all the way up through this run. If not, we'll pull back to this previous high, and that's will be probably the place where I'd want to get into this trade. And remember, you can't stop the momentum of these institutional buyers, and you got to trade with them and not against them. We already tried that a couple 3 years ago, where we come and we got their attention. We're at war with the retail trader and the institutional buyer. They're not talking bad about us anymore because they got it figured out that they're just going to have to join the party, or we're going to have to join their party. So we got to be in sync and have an equilibrium to their style of trading. We got to listen to what they say, follow the dark pool, but I never trusted the dark pool. I just trust chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And when I say by being in the now, knowing what trend we're in the market. And right now, these suckers are bullish as could be. So I see Mara pulling back to the 9. If it doesn't hold the 9, then we're going to go ahead and pull back to this previous high and then start to consolidate. Nile, I'm excited about Nile into 2023. I've already called the bottom on it. Right now we're in between what I would call a gap. So you're going to find some resistance in the gap. And let's go ahead and key that in here real fast. And I'm going to type in gap. So if you don't know how to trade a gap, it might be a good idea to start learning. Gap trade. And type this in black so I can see it. That's called a gap trade. That's what we've got to look for. So we get into that gap and we'll consolidate. If not, we'll pull back to that low support right around 887 and be a very strong buy. We got a nice little resistance level at that spot, and that should hold. So I'd be putting an alert, set it at right around 890 or $9, and then maybe start going in small and adding on to your position into 2024. We got to break 1050 and run it back up here to the top right around 1271. Tesla, I did a video on it. Go back and watch it. Riot also had a nice little run. We've almost double topped. I can see this going to 2641 and then pulling back and finding support in this channel right there between 1509 and 1585, or holding the 9 and bouncing on up and hitting that resistance level. Coins had a real nice run. This thing needs to also pull back. We hit the 200. We called this 1, 2, 3 out in the room, broke resistance of a double top, and now we're way up here in crazy land. Kathy Woods regrets probably if she's still in the trade. She's very bullish on coin, so we have a hard resistance to break at that level. $194.36. So this thing can easily pull back and find support at 153.80 or bounce off the 9. And that will gain respect. BABA, I'm bullish on BABA this year into 2024. I think we'll see a resistance level of 120. K-Web, we're about ready to break out of a triangle. I do believe we hit the 1, 2, 3 after the inverse head and shoulders, that we will break resistance up here at the resistance level of 34.43 into next year. JD's China, we're definitely at a double bottom, higher low. We got a big snake. We need to break resistance level of the 21 and run it up to the 51 EMA. NVIDIA, you'll see your 650 next year. These guys are bullish as hell on this stock. I'm not. I mean, I've been playing the dips, but I'm not following the fat cats on this one, but I think I will in 2024. XPEV is my favorite China car company next to Nile. We're getting ready to break out of a 1, 2, 3 down here. We definitely have a head into what I would call a descending triangle. We'll bounce off the 50 and run it up and try to hit this resistance level of 21.18. Whoops. Let's bring it, yeah. Let's bring it to 20. What I'm doing is I'm looking for the previous consolidated area. This is a triple bottom, and we failed that triple bottom. So as we come up, the hard resistance will be the old triple bottom. It's all about chart patterns. Amazon will be good to next year. After Christmas, we should see a pullback. We do have a 1, 2, 3, or we might break resistance and run it up to right around the next resistance line of this two-headed snake, which is right around 174. Pull back, solid support will be the 1, 2, 3 triple top, no lower than 140. And that's it for now. I got a couple good others. I mean, they're pumping the shit out of Apple. I don't like that idea. I think Apple's got some bad news. They've not been profitable. We need to have a good pullback. 181. TSM into 2023, I think will be a good trade. We're up here at resistance levels right now. It'd be nice to have a little bitty pullback maybe to the 9. I'm going to use the 9 on the weekly for a support level on all these trades mostly. So keep a good eye on that 9. I've talked about the 9 here in the last couple of videos. I'm going to be concentrating on the 9 a lot. And I'm going to be talking about how the 9 crosses over the 21 for a buy signal. And I'm also going to be talking about how the 9 crosses down over the 21 to be a sell signal. We got a 1, 2, 3 bounce, again, off of an inverse head and shoulders. If you extend this out to the left, there's your head, there's your left shoulder, there's your right shoulder, there's your right shoulder. Boom, to a double, triple top. And that resistance is going to break at 105.15. If we break that, we run up to the next channel right here, and that's going to be 113.83. Rivian is one of my favorites in the EV car sector. We got to break the 65 EMA on the weekly time frame to run this stock back up to its high of 38.56. Low support will definitely be back down here on the shoulder line right at 15.32. Strong buy, strong buy. If you see that, strong buy. I think that's going to be it for now. Yep, we'll just call it a day and get back to the trading here. Wish everybody a great trading into 2024. And this is the pre-market early bird watch list that we're going to talk about. And I hope everybody had a great 2023. It's all about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now.